everybody. Colleen here with Chalk Couture, getting ready to start another project. I tried to come in and then something goofy happened. So let's see if this is working now. Alrighty, I can see myself, yay. Let me turn my volume down. The only thing is I'm going to turn my camera, hopefully the right way. So that, nope, we are upside down. Let's try that the other way. Oh my goodness gracious. Why do I always have problems with the cameras? I tried to turn it sideways because I know that that usually works better, but that wasn't working. It kept making the camera freeze for some reason. But I think this looks a little better. I'm just going to slide over here a little bit, get this centered, and then I think we are ready to go. Yes. Alright, let's get this set up so I can see if anybody comes in so that I can answer any comments. But tonight's project is going to be changing out my Valentine's project that I had on my 19.5-inch round Chalk Couture. It's a magnetic board that's available on Chalk Couture. So as with the Chalk Couture products, the whole purpose of this is so that we can love our design for a little while, and then Valentine's Day is now over. So I'm going to change this out to one of our brand new transfers for Easter. It's so cute. It's Happy Easter, hippity hoppity, and it's got cute little eggs down here at the bottom, and little birds and little flowers. So we're going to go ahead and change that out. So first things first was I labeled the back of my transfer because it is brand new. And these are reusable silkscreen transfers, so I just want to make sure that I am labeling the back, because the side that the transfer sticks to is a shiny side, and the transfer itself is sticky, so we want to make sure that we're putting our transfer back on the right side, not on the paper side. That's the whole point of labeling the back of our transfer. So first things first, I'm going to add water to my chalkboard here. It just might take a little bit of elbow grease to get this off. Our chalk paste goes on wet and dries hard. We have them in 2-ounce little containers, and we actually are coming out with brand new 3-ounce containers. So once our 2-ounce containers are completely sold out, we're going to phase into our 3-ounce containers, which, if you notice, I mean, you think that 2 ounces to 3 ounces doesn't sound like that much, but I mean, look at the difference in the size. It's amazing. It's just a little bit, a couple more dollars between the 2-ounce. The 2-ounce are $8.99, and I unfortunately don't remember these right off the top of my head. I have not memorized all the new products yet, but these are on my online store, which I will post right now in the comments below. Let me do that real quick. If I could type quick on an iPad, that would be lovely. But I don't use iPads all that often, so it's not the fastest for me. I'm much quicker on a computer than I am on my phone. And I'm just showing my age because I'm old school. I like using the computer, and I'm a little bit more challenged when it comes to using iPads and phones. Okay, so there is the store. That should be showing up now. That should take you to my online store. I was doing that so that it would give time for the water that I put on here to do its magic on the chalk paste that I'm going to remove. So as I was mentioning, the chalk paste does go on. It goes on wet and dries hard. It is not permanent, which is the whole fun of Chalk Couture, because we, as designers, like to create something, and then as the season change, we like to change it out. And I think it makes, obviously what it's intended for is home decor products, so that you can change them as each season changes, and you're not spending a fortune on home decor pieces for the holidays, you can create them for yourself and then just change them out, which is fantastic, which is what drew me to Chalk Couture in the first place. I just thought that that was the coolest concept, that you could use chalk paste that isn't permanent and just change out your designs over and over again. I think that's awesome. And you can make it permanent. I would never dream of making anything permanent on a Chalk Couture board of any kind, whether it be their chalk board, their shadow boxes, or their magnetic round boards like this one. However, you can, if you use the chalk paste and your silkscreen transfers on different mediums, you can certainly make it permanent by just putting a little bit of sealer on there. And you can see that I let the water soak on here for a little bit while I was pinning my store, and it made it come off so easy. I'm not really even actually applying a lot of pressure at all. Just a little bit more pressure down here because there are a couple layers to our vintage truck that was on here previously. That's why it might take a little bit more elbow grease, but this one actually wasn't too bad getting off. Just let the water do its job, and you won't have any problems getting it off. And then you can start all over again, creating something fantastic. I love Easter. I have a small obsession with bunnies. We have little bunnies in our yard sometimes, and people who know me, when I see a bunny, I'm like, bunny, bun bun. I love them. They're so cute. We have them as pets, and honestly, I don't think they make great pets. I just like seeing them run around in my yard, and I'm fine with that. They are so cute, though. I like them. And just our last final swoop through here. Just making sure that we're getting all of that chalk paste off so that we have a brand new pristine surface to work with for our next transfer. And we are in business. This looks perfect. I'm trying not to get my fingerprints on it because I got a little red on my fingers. Voila, we are done. We have a great new surface to go ahead and do our next project on. So I like to kind of get things going. I have my chalk paste over here to the side. I'm just going to put them on here so I can show you. Some of these pastes I might not have used for a little bit. So what happens if that's the case is we just add a little bit of water to the chalk paste just to make sure that it's in good order. These may be a little dried out, so we just add a little bit of paste at first. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So we just do a little drop of water and give it a good vigorous stir. We're looking for the consistency of yogurt, and that helps it go on nice and smoothly over our silkscreen. I'm going to get these all prepped as quickly as I can because there's going to be a lot of different colors, I think, in this project, and I'm doing a lot of really cool pastel colors. My bubblegum did not need any help. It was in great shape. It has that yogurt consistency. We're going to move right on to lemon and just give that a stir. This I'm going to give just a tiny little bit of water to. I like to just have everything ready to rock and roll with the project so that I'm not taking up a lot of your time, but just showing you how quick and easy and fun it is to do these projects for yourself. And if you like home decor items, you like making your own home decor items, this is the perfect product for you. It is amazing. My lime has seen better days. I actually need to order a new lime. But I'm going to go ahead and add just a little water because I'm going to be determined to get some color out of here and use every last drop of my lime. Beautiful Caribbean. Look at all these pretty colors. These just scream spring. They're so pretty. And they're going to go great on this project. I have not used this Caribbean in a little bit. But no worries, you bring it back to life with a little bit of water because it is chalk paste. Just have to give it a little bit of a vigorous stir and we'll get it right back in working order to how we want it. These are the old formulated chalk paste, our brand new formulated chalk paste. Whoops, I just got a little too vigorous with my stirring. Our brand new chalk pastes are reformulated, and I really don't think that you need to to add the water as much anymore with the new formulated version of the chalk paste. And the way that you can tell that it's a new chalk paste is it's going to have this label on the side of it. And what I like is you can just put your nail right over that, and then your label will stay on there, which is perfect. One more to go. This is lavender. It's so pretty. Now this is definitely an old lavender. I don't actually, you know what? I have, let's see, I've got a whole bunch of purples over here. Purple plum. I got a new 3 ounce. Oh, I got a new 3 ounce purple. I may use this instead. I think I'm going to go with that one instead. I like that color a lot. And what I also like about these new 3 ounce jars is, oops, this is brand new. I have to take that off. That's kind of interesting. This one didn't have the brand new label on it, but it does have purple on here, so I know what color that is. And you'll see with the brand new purple, this is the first time opening it, but look, you can hear, it sounds like Rice Krispies. You just stir it and stir it, getting all the way around the corners there till you don't hear that Rice Krispie sound anymore. And then now that I've stirred this up, so long as I keep my lid on it and not have it dry out, I shouldn't really need to stir this every time now, because this is the brand new formulated one. So I'll leave that in there. So all my colors are ready to go. Let me just, I'm a little anal, so I like to make sure that my lids are next to each other. I have a missing lid. This is Caribbean, and this is lime. There we go. Sorry, I am a little, for being a sloppy crafter, I am a little bit anal with having everything in order. That's just me. Hey, Peg. Alrighty, so now that we have all our chalk paste in good order, and I just got a little bit of chalk poop. We call it chalk poop because sometimes the chalk dries around the edge of the container and it comes off, so I try not to open my chalk paste over my chalkboards, otherwise you get chalk poop. But that's not a big deal. Just wipe it away and you are good to go. Alright, all of our chalk paste are ready to go on the side. We are going to do this super cute Happy Easter transfer. I think it's going to fit perfectly on here. I may, because I have the burlap tie up here kind of in my way, I may just try to tuck that down because this is going to be a little snug, but I should be able to get my eggs at the bottom right on here. So when working with the transfer this size, we want to make sure that we are peeling the carrier sheet from the transfer, not the other way around. You don't want to do it this way and just rip. You want to have this laying down because this transfer is very sticky when you first use it. You can see my fingers are sticking to it. You want to make sure that you're pulling the carrier sheet from the transfer like that so that it just lays flat. I'm just going to throw this carrier sheet off to the side. And then what we do with our transfers is we call it fuzzing them up. And what that basically means is we're taking the lint from a towel, or you can use your shirt or your pants, whichever you like. I'm just going to use this towel because I have it handy. This is a bigger transfer and probably won't fit on my shirt. So I'm taking the fuzz from my towel and I am just putting that onto the back of the transfer. The reason that we do that is because, number one, it's very sticky and my hand keeps sticking to it. That's number one. Number two is when you put it onto your chalkboard, it's going to stick on there pretty good, and we don't want it to stick so hard that when we are trying to take the transfer off, we can't get it off of our chalkboard. Oh, and see what I just did there? All right. So here's what we do. See how my fingers are sticking? Number one, don't panic. I just got the transfer stuck to itself, but I'm going to take my time and slowly pull it apart. And I had no problem at all. Voila. Now, if it did stick into the point that I could not get it apart, I have a pan of water right to my right. I would just drop my transfer into the pan of water, which also helps take some of the sticky away, and I could simply pull apart the transfer that got stuck to itself without any incident. But number one key thing, don't panic when that happens. Some people panic and start ripping at it, and this is a silkscreen transfer. There's little tiny silkscreen in here, and you don't want to stretch that out by trying to rip it apart. So that was a good thing that happened, so I could show you what exactly to do if that should happen to you when you have one of the Chalk Couture transfers. It's still pretty sticky. I prefer sticking it to my shirt because it seems to work better, but like I said, this one's a little bit big, so we're not going to do that. I may actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna lay it right across my legs because I have really comfy sweatpants on, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of lint from my sweatpants right onto the back of this transfer. So that's what I'm gonna do. That just works easier for me. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and put this down, hopefully trying to get it somewhat centered. I'm going to stand up for this just so I can get it to where I really want it to be nice and centered here on my board. And trying to make sure that I have my eggs on the board. And I hope I didn't just put my head right into the camera. Alright, let's just lay this down again, getting it a little bit more centered. I think we're good. I just want to make sure that that butterfly, that cute little butterfly, is not going to hit my bow. At the top here, my burlap that we use to hang this 19.5-inch round board. I have like a stand for it that it hangs from. It looks cute. I'll show you when I'm done. But look, that's perfect. I got my eggs down here on the bottom right on it, and my butterfly is able to fit on top. Perfect. Now, I got a few bubbles in here, but not a big deal. All that we need to do is lift up our transfer again and just smooth it out to where we're not feeling any bubbles. Because just like rain is not our friend with Chalk Couture, because water and Chalk Couture don't really go well unless you're taking away your design, bubbles are not our friend as well on our silk screen because you will see it. So you just want to make sure that you're running your hand over. Some people use a squeegee. You could use the large angled squeegee and just use that to go over it. I like to feel it with my hands because I can't feel it through the squeegee. So I like to just feel around, make sure I'm not feeling any bubbles in there. And I think I feel pretty good. And I think for this project, I think my live froze. Let me check. Can you guys still see me? Okay, I think we're good. I don't know what happened there. My iPad just made it look like I froze. Hopefully everybody's still there. Alright, I'm going to keep going. Hopefully you're there. So I'm going to work from the bottom. And I think that once I put chalk paste colors down here, I'm just going to lift up so that my chalk paste doesn't dry. And I'll just work very quickly doing each of these eggs and then pull that back and then keep moving forward. And hopefully going this way should be okay. I think, let me just test it. If I did chalk paste and I pulled up, I can just lay it. Yep, I should be good. So we're going to go with that method instead of working from top down, just because I don't want to have to put my head in the camera. So let's see. Here we go. Enough talking. Let's just get to it. Oh, now that I put that down, I see a bubble. Okay, so I'm just going to go right through with my colors. I think I want to do Happy Easter in the amazing purple. Just knocked all my lids over. So we'll save the purple for that. So I think I'm going to do pink, yellow, green, Caribbean, and I have periwinkle. So let's start with periwinkle, and we'll just go right on across. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I'm going to make sure I have all my squeegees ready to go. I've got a bunch of different squeegees that, these are our small squeegees, and I just cut them in half, and these fit perfectly into our 2-ounce jars. So I've got a bunch of these off to my side here so that I can just keep going from one color to the next and working pretty quickly getting all these eggs colored in. So all that we're doing is taking the chalk paste and pulling it down right over top of the silk screen. I'm working pretty quickly because I need to get all of these eggs done all at once so I can lift up and move on. Taking all the excess back into my jar and then just moving on to my next color. I love this bubble gum. Oh, it's so pretty. It just pops. So just making sure that we have no lines, getting all the lines off so that it goes through the silk screen nice and evenly, and then taking all of our excess chalk paste and putting that right back into our jar. The other thing, besides, as I mentioned earlier in my video about how you can change out the designs and just have like one really nice chalkboard or a couple nice chalkboards and just change out your design for every holiday. I just lost my train of thought where I was going to go with that. There was another great thing that I liked. Some people have the knack for talking and doing something at the same time. Apparently I don't, because I just completely lost my train of thought. I'm sure it'll come back to me, give it time. But anyway, we're just going to keep rocking and rolling right through this. We're already on our last one. I've got one last squeegee here using our Caribbean. Oops, let's not drop the stick. Almost done the first row. Okay, so we got all the excess off, back into the jar, and we're going to lift up our first row. Let's get my finger under there. And we're going to grab from the corners because we don't want to stretch out the transfer. I'm just going to, like so. There we go. Now we got to start it. Now I can grab from the corners and the center. Oh, that came out so good. Can you guys see that? Look at the eggs. They look so cute. Okay, so now I can just kind of gingerly lay that back on top, because the reason that I did that was because I didn't want the chalk paste to dry on there. So now that layer's good, that's going to dry, and then we're going to go with Hippity Hoppity and a cute little heart. So I think I'll do the heart in pink and then the Hippity Hoppity in yellow. I'm kind of winging this as we're going. I really did not plan this out at all. I probably should have thought it through first, but sometimes it works good when you just kind of do things on the fly and are spontaneous. I kind of like that. So there we have our pink, and then we'll do Hippity Hoppity in yellow. I do remember that I wanted to do the Happy Easter in purple, so definitely want to do that. And then maybe we'll do, let's see, let me finish so I'm not talking and doing something at the same time, because then I'm going to lose my train of thought again. Let's finish this first and then move on. Okay, almost done with that. And don't be intimidated by the bigger transfers, because if you don't like to do this way of putting a layer on and then going to the next, there's another option that you can do. You can just simply wet a paper towel and lay that over the sections that you've done. See how Hippity Hoppity came out with the cute little heart? That's sweet. You can just lay a wet paper towel over this. And then that way that keeps the chalk paste nice and moist under there. And then you can take it off at the end when you keep that on there. Just want to make sure this isn't sticking too much. Okay, lay that down. Now, let's see. I think I'm going to do Caribbean. Oh, I should probably do lime. Oh, I'm getting really, really brazen here. How about Caribbean for the flower, and I'm going to do lime. Okay, we're going to have to do this really quick. Let's see how this goes. We'll do the flower in the Caribbean. Try and get in there real. Might get a little bit on the leaf part of it, but that's okay. Just covering the flower. Okay, and then we'll use the lime green. I think that'll be good for the leaves part of this. Get in there a little bit close. Try not to hit my squeegee on the blue, the Caribbean, because I don't want to get that back into my lime color. I don't want to contaminate my jar. So I just have to be a little careful in that area. Just moving on to the other side. Spreading that right across. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. This one just takes a little bit more patience. Oop. Making sure I didn't get any Caribbean on there. I didn't. Put all that back in. Now we can lift up our next section. Hopefully this isn't, there we go. Okay, now we can lift our flower. Yay, that worked. I actually did pretty good. I didn't really get any of the Caribbean on the green part or any of the lime green on that. Well, maybe just a tad, but you can't really see it. So I like the way that came out. All right, so we are going to rock and roll with this. I do have these little flowers in here, so I wonder if I should do those first. And then just real quick use my large squeegee and do Happy Easter. I think I might do that. So let's do... I'm not going to get too fancy here and try to do these green because I don't think I'm going to be able to get that off. Sorry if my head's in the way. Let's see. Maybe I can. No, I'm just going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do the whole thing pink. Alright, so we got that one covered. And then we'll do a little bit of yellow down here. Oop, I just missed the tip there. We got that. Now we'll go back to the periwinkle and do one of these little cute guys periwinkle. And then we'll do a Caribbean over here. Got all the colors, all our cute pastel Eastery colors going on here. Now we get the big guns. Now I'm going to use this guy here and just go over and do Easter. Once I get Easter done, I can lift that up because my flowers now have color on them, so we should be good to go. Trying to be quick so that this doesn't dry. Just going to pull this straight across. See how nice that pulls across when you just go right across the letters? Just adding a little bit of pressure to my squeegee just to pull that chalk paste all the way across. And as I've said before, a little bit of our chalk paste does go a long way, so you don't need to go crazy putting a whole lot of chalk paste on because it does, you know, cover a pretty big section. I haven't really used that much out of this jar at all. I've got a little bit of pink on my E, but hopefully the purple will cover it. If not a big deal. Okay, I'm just trying to work pretty quickly, making sure there's no lines. Looks pretty good to me. And then we're going to move right along and lift that up. I apologize if my head gets into the camera. We'll pull this up till we get to where the P is in happy. Oh, I see I missed a little bit of the S. So this is perfect. This pulling up method with the transfer actually works good too because now I can lay it back down over where my S was. Just cover that because I missed it. I was working a little too quick. Hopefully I didn't just mess that up. Hopefully that lined back up when I laid it down. It did! Look, I filled in my S. That's perfect. I'm just going to squeak this a little bit to get that flower off. And get those flowers off. There we go. Now, I'm just going to gingerly lay this back down so that I can continue with happy. Grab my squeegee again, and we'll finish up happy. Honestly, I prefer this method now that I've really given it a good fair shake with lifting up as I'm going along, because I can see any mistakes and lay it back down real quick, and like I just did. And also, sometimes the paper towel method is a little difficult because I'm not really sure how much water to put on the paper towel, and sometimes the lines, like we use the Bounty paper towels and they have the lines in them, and sometimes the line comes through on the chalk and I don't really like that. So I think this method is going to be my go-to method from now on, especially with big projects like this. And I apologize, I'm probably blocking the light because it's behind me, because I'm standing up trying to make sure that I'm covering everything here. So it might be a little dark on the project here, I apologize. But how adorable is this transfer? Oh, I almost got the flower. This is so cute. There's so many different things that you can do for this. You can put the eggs on cute little baskets for the kiddos to put their eggs in. That's just one thing that just popped right into my head just looking down at the eggs. There's just so many fun different projects that you can do. Don't get like closed in thinking like, oh, it's this transfer, I have to do it this way. No, you really don't. You can mix and match. I see a spot I missed again. Put that back down. I missed a little bit in the Y. And then we'll pull up. We are almost at the home stretch. We just had these little guys. Now what I could do if I really wanted to, I missed a little bit of the P too. I could just leave that alone, and I like that kind of like distressed kind of look, but I'm just going to fix it since I can. I think I got it. As I was saying, I can, if I wanted to, erase this with water and go back and clean the transfer and lay this back down and make that green if I want to. That just might be my OCD kicking in, and I may wind up doing that, but we'll see. So this little guy here is screaming yellow to me, and I want to do, I think, azure. I'm just going to grab chalk paste and we're just going to throw it down here on different pieces, and let's see how it goes. I may wind up coming back and filling in all these flowers. The stems I might come back and do lime green, because that's going to bother me, and I'm trying not to be on the video too long, because I know, people have lives. They don't want to be watching this all night long, so I'm trying to be a little quick. So let's take a little bit of azure. How about a butterfly? An azure butterfly. That'll be pretty. Put him right up here. And then maybe we can, I'm going to lay that down because I missed that little guy right there. Cover him up. Then let's get some Caribbean in here. We haven't had Caribbean in a little bit, so we can do that. Let's do him over here in Caribbean. How about a Caribbean butterfly? That'll be pretty. This really pretty guy right here, we'll do him in Caribbean. And I could do the same thing with that. When I take the transfer off and clean it, I could come back and maybe add more color to the butterfly too, to see. Sometimes I do that. I say this all the time. I'll like do something live, and then I'll look at it, and then I go back and I have to make changes because something bothers me, and I'm just like, I want to fix that. Let's put a cute little flower here. I'm trying to work quick too, because let me just get this guy out of the way. This little cute little bird up here, because he's going to take a hot minute to cover. Try not to have this paste dry on me. Again, I'm sorry if I keep putting my head into the camera. This is a little bit of a big guy, so I have to see what I'm doing up here. Let's make this guy yellow too, just because I had this extra paste on my squeegee here. What I'll do is, usually, if I do decide to make some changes, I'll post a picture in the comments if I make some changes to it, which I probably will. Okay, we've got just a couple more flowers, but since we're done over here, I'll pull this away. Got all this. I just need that one there. Let's make him. I have pink. I have green. What color don't I have? Let me just throw yellow here. Let's see how that works, because I don't have a yellow flower there. And then we'll do, let's do another green one over here. We'll do green, and then we'll do Caribbean, and then we are done. This is a little hard to get this chalk paste off there, because I worked myself into a corner. And then what did I say we were going to do? Azure? Let's do azure. Right here for this cute little guy. Oh, I had an azure there, but that's alright. And you see how I just did that? I went right off on my board. That's okay. You just get a little bit of water and clean that up. Let's see how we're looking. Now I think the H, I'm going to lay this back down real quick. This might have already been dried, but let's give it a whirl and see if I can just add a little more to the H. Oh, and I just hit the yellow. See, I should have left well enough alone. Yeah, that's okay. All right, let's try to do this gingerly and not get it stuck to itself. That's it. Oh my gosh, those colors look so good. I love it. I think it came out great. I just had the one little boo-boo where the purple was actually already starting to dry and I laid it back down. And then here's my little boo-boo spot where I went off of the transfer a little bit. So I'm just getting a little piece of paper towel here, getting it a little wet. And I'm just going to take that right off. And I have some more chalk boogies. But otherwise, I am so happy with how that came out. I love it. I think the color combinations all look so cute together. And actually what I could do is I could even, once I clean the transfer, and I'm not sad about this. I kind of like that all one color. I may just leave it, but I can add some more cute things down here if I want to. We have another transfer that's called Easter Words. Hold on, that might be right. Spring Words. This is the transfer. So I could actually take some and add some of these. I love this. Here comes Peter Cottontail. I could like put that on the side. Happy Easter. Well, we already have Happy Easter, but Bunny Egg Hunt. We have bunnies. I could put a bunny on here in this extra space, or I could leave it. Like I said, I'm going to look at it for a little while and then try to decide what I want to do. But for right now, that's kind of the gist of it. You see how easy that was? That didn't take any time to make this design. And then once Easter is over, not that I'm trying to rush things along, but once Easter's over, I can change this out and I can go back to maybe my vintage truck and put flowers in there for the spring. Or I could put something for Mother's Day, which we have a cute Mother's Day saying. Which I actually made a t-shirt out of. I think it's adorable. But I could put the Mother's Day saying on here. But that's the whole point of Chalk Couture with chalk paste and transfers, is that you design, love, and repeat. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon for the next project. Have a fantastic night. Bye.